Good morning, everyone. I have the wrong screen on. What a way to start. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah Simon. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from a very sunny and beautiful fall morning in Appleton, Wisconsin. Good morning, Kelly and Julie and Michelle. I think, Michelle, you said you have company this weekend. And Denise, who's in Medford. And yes, Denise, we survived a 5-day week of school. I can't believe it. And Debbie and Amanda and Karen and Mary. Thank you guys all for joining me this morning. Um, I I don't have Lila again today. I feel not spoiled because I love her. But my mom and dad, good morning, Kay. I have my team meeting today, and I have 6 of my 10 team members are coming. And so my mom and dad decided it would be easier if they took Lila to the cottage with them than for her to be here in our way. And so she is at the cottage again, being spoiled by grandma and grandpa. I don't know if I said hello to you, Dee, but hello. Um, don't say fall, it's summer. I know, but we got a little glimpse of fall. See, I love fall. And we got a little glimpse of it last Saturday when it was a little bit cooler. And then all of a sudden, these 80-degree temperatures came back. And I think I told you guys that the classroom that I'm teaching in this year, I'm back in the classroom for one class, and it's a 90-minute class, and the air conditioning wasn't working in there. So last Thursday or Friday, a new air conditioning unit was delivered, and they got it up on the roof with the crane and everything, and they went to go get it all started up, and it didn't work. It needed a part. So that part was going to be delivered sometime this week, and as of Friday, well, let's just say we didn't have air yet. And it was like 86 degrees with a bunch of high school. I have mostly boys in my class. I have 3 girls and 16 boys. So, yeah. And the last hour of the day after the classroom had been used all day, it was smelling a little not so good. But anyway, hello, Linda. Thank you guys all for joining me. I have 2 cards that I'm going to be doing for you today. One of them, good morning, Kathy Miller. One of them is using the reindeer set, which I promised. I was going to do the coffee cups, that autumn one. I decided to wait on that till next week. I decided to use one of the layouts that is in the new holiday catalog. So I'm going to show you where you can find those again, and I'll show you a card made with that. And I also have some alternates made with some of the cards that I'm using or showing you today as well. Good morning, Kay. Let's go ahead. I do have some happy mail. I received this beautiful card. Look at that little bird in the nest. And it says, sending hugs. This is from Trish. I think she's on Kelly's team. And this was a get well. I'm going to tell you guys, I don't know if it was I don't know when it was last week, but I think it was actually over the weekend. I think I was telling you that I was still having pain in one of the incisions. It hurt so bad. It was like this really, really sharp pain. And like anytime I'd have to sit down or get up. Well, I noticed that there was like a little bump on that one, and there wasn't on all the other ones. And if I held on to the incision when I sat down or when I got up or when it was hurting me, it seemed to feel better. So I just kept like kind of pushing at it. And all of a sudden I heard something kind of click, and I was like, oh crap. I hope I didn't do something to that. But actually, ever since then, I haven't had any pain at all. I haven't had to take any ibuprofen all week because whatever I did, I fixed wherever the pain was coming from, and it didn't cost me anything. I didn't have to go to the doctor to do it. So anyway, I'm feeling 100% now. But this was a get well card, or a thinking of you type card for that. All right, let's get to some prizes. So for commenting last week, we made this card with that Autumn Expressions. And I liked this card because I got to see so much of the paper, right? And then the new autumn paper, we used some of that to make this card with that really simple, cheap um, changing leaf. No, not changing leaves. Yeah, I think that is what it's called. Stamp set. And the paper kind of matched really nicely with that. So we made these 2 cards last week. So for commenting, so anytime you comment, I put your name on a list. I do a random draw of names, and receiving these this week is Crystal Niebaum or Niebaum. Niebaum. Crystal, I don't think I have your address. I don't recall you ever winning. So if you could email me your address or send it in a private message on Facebook. My email is createwithsarahllc@gmail.com. So congratulations and thank you for all of you who have commented. I do check here in the live. I do check in the comments for those who watch it on YouTube after. And I also check it on my Facebook post for that, where I advertise for this. Hello, Nancy. And then for sharing. So anytime you share, whether you email it to someone, post it on your Facebook page, whatever you might do, please indicate in the comments like Kay just did, where she said liked and shared. I like those thumbs up too, because that helps somehow with the analytics. I don't know. I don't get any money from YouTube, so it's not giving me any money yet, but I don't know if I get to a certain point if they do, but I've been told that it helps get my video out there more for more people to see it, the more people that like it. So if you could like it, I would appreciate it. And if you would share it. And receiving some of this new ribbon, look at how pretty that is with the little pom-poms on the end. I think this would be really cute, like if you do tags and you tie it, or if you like add it as like you have a label and you just add a little ribbon to the end. You don't need a whole lot of it. It has little pom-poms on it. And it's Pool Party, I believe. I think it's Pool Party. It's in with the Snowy Days. Receiving this for sharing last week is Denise Umlauf. So Denise, I will get this off in the mail to you. And then for placing an order, and I'm going to go ahead and get to my banners here so I can show you this. This is my current host code right now. So if you place an order and it is under $150, if you could use that host code, it helps me to accumulate money so that I can purchase all of these prizes that I give away. And if it's over $150, do not put that in because you will get the hostess benefits in that case. So receiving this stamp set, Choose Happy, which I love. There's something there for every occasion. There's a happy and there's a choose that are kind of cursive letter or wording. And then there's Thanksgiving and anniversary and choose gratitude and, happy healing and happy summer. And there's that little bee in there that's so cute. And the pumpkin, and you've got the face that you can make the pumpkin into a little jack-o'-lantern, and look at that little penguin. So it's a really cute stamp set, very versatile. So I have all of the people who placed orders. I have your names on a slip of paper, and I'm going to draw it live so you can see what I do. And it's going to Donna Deppner. So Donna, I will get this off in the mail to you this week along with the other prizes. So thank you all for supporting my business, however you do it, even just by watching me. I really, really appreciate it. All right, should we get to stamping? I think so. Let me grab this right here. We'll flip that. And I'm going to turn my overhead light off because I get less shadows. So our mini catalog is live. Yay. I just love it. I'm going to take this host code off of here. Just like in our annual catalog, one of the things that Stampin' Up! Did this time was at the beginning of the catalog, they have a page that has different layouts for ideas that you can use. Now, some of them are tags and some of them are cards. And so I thought to start with today, most of these are just quick and simple cards that you can make. And especially this time of year when you are making Christmas cards and you have a lot of Christmas cards to make, or you don't want to have to keep buying tags and you want to make some cute tags. These are some really quick go-to, quick grab and design. They go nicely with some of the remember how I talked about they have some of the memories and more. So people who don't want to invest a lot of money and buy a lot of stamps and paper and all of that kind of stuff, the beginning of the annual catalog was geared more towards those people. And so is the beginning of our mini catalog. It's where we have some of these where you can punch things out so you don't have to have all of those stamps and all of those colors, and you can add it to a card. And then it comes with some designer paper that matches all of that. So that is, we're going to use one of those layouts, and the layout that I chose for today is this one right here up in the corner. So it's a regular card. It has like a layer of either designer series paper, or it could be something that's embossed. And then it just simply has a label with some ribbon behind it. And so I thought that's a really, really quick and easy way to make a card, especially with some of the gorgeous designer paper that we have. So that is what we are going to start with. And I'm using some of the paper, and I didn't grab here. Let me let me grab something for. So if you're on my team and you want to be surprised, you can close your eyes right now. But at my team meeting today, all of my team members are going to be able to make, and if you're on my team and you can't make it to the meeting, I'm sending these to you to make as well. You get to make these samplers of all of the papers. And so it has a little sampling of the paper, and then it has the colors that go with it. So for this card, we're going to use the Sentimental Christmas DSP. Now, I think I told you that I did a swap where I had to make 4 cards with this. This is not one of those cards. This is an extra one that I made last night. But this is the paper we're going to use. But rather than pairing it with the stamp set or the bundle that it goes with, it needed to have that layout, needed to have a label and a greeting. And so this stamp set, Christmas Labels, has a whole bunch of Christmas greetings. Very cool. And then look at these labels. I don't have it on a magnetic sheet yet, but it has all of these really, really cool labels that you can put the greetings in. So I chose this label for our label today. And the greeting that I chose, the one that's missing from here. So they go like this. So the one that's missing is the Peace on Earth. So we're using the Peace on Earth along with that rectangular greeting. And I decided to use this paper right here. I didn't use that in any of my cards. I used the other side of it with this little like red and white striped ribbon along with the holly, but I didn't use the trees at all. But I really loved that. I just felt like I needed to use, so I did a card with this paper, I did a card with this paper, I did a card with this paper, and I did a card with, well, this one mixed with this one. So these two were together, and I didn't use this. This is the only paper I didn't use in my cards that I made. So anyhow, I wanted to feature that in the card that I was making. So, and then I thought, because I had the trees, I might bring in this Peaceful Evergreens as well. That also has some dies to go with it. So that is what I am using. It's a wide variety of things. And the reason I wanted to do that is to show you that you can mix and match a lot of things, or even things that you already have. So you don't always have to buy everything that's in a suite of products. Hello, Rosie. You can also, and Betty, I don't think I said hello to you. You can also mix and match with things that you already have at your house. All right, so our card base, whoops, is going to be Pretty Peacock. And this card base is 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. Okay, so I love Pretty Peacock, right? Oh, so pretty. All right, and then I took a piece of our gold foil, and this measures 3.5 by 4 3/4. Now, if I had decided that I was going to cut something out to have on the front that was in the gold, I'm actually covering this up with designer paper, and gold foil paper can get to be a little expensive. So if there's anything you wanted to die cut out of here, if you wanted to die cut a circle or anything like that that you might use in another card, you could go ahead and do that because the middle is going to be completely covered up. So die cut some things that you think you might use in gold foil that you could then put on another card, even if you're not going to use it on this card. Just a little piece of what I might do if I were doing this, using this, right? Then our paper is 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. Okay, again, if you are a person that I don't like 1/8 of an inch, you would have to do it 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. You would have to go 1/8 of an inch smaller. I wanted just a little bit of that gold popping through to just add, ooh, look at that. It just adds a little shimmer and shine to our card because we're using just a very basic card. All right, I have, for the inside, I have this 4 by 5 1/4. All right, so that's all I have for cardstock. I did go ahead and I die cut out one of those labels so that we have it. And that is all we're going to need. So we're going to need to stamp this. We're going to need to stamp this. I'm going to set this aside for right now. I do have a little piece of that paper that I'm going to add to my envelope when I get to that point. I forgot to put, let me grab something to put down on my work surface so I don't get ink on my wood. Of course it's buried. I have one of them out for my team meeting because after we have lunch, I have to put it down so that they can stamp because they get to make some cards and do some stuff as well. They get to win some prizes. It's kind of fun. All right. It's nice to get together with people who have the same passion and love for stamping as you do. All right. So on the inside, I am going to take this small little trees, which kind of match a little bit with that. And I'm going to use some pretty peacock ink. And I'm just going to ink those up and stamp them down in the lower left corner. Okay, it just brought a little bit of the trees from the outside into the inside of my card. Right, and then I just found a greeting that was in the Peaceful Greetings, I think it's called. We used this a couple of weeks ago when we cut that other little fun label that had the ribbon running through it. Okay, thinking of you with warm feelings and a wish for all the merriest. Okay, that's all I'm going to do in the pretty peacock, and that's going to be for the inside of our card. So could mass produce these really easily, right? All right, then with this label, what I wanted to do is I wanted to emboss this with gold. So I'm going to use some of our embossing tools that we have. So our embossing buddy, especially when I have a dark color like this, I like to just lightly run that. You don't want to like drop it on there and get the powder all over the place because then it's changes the color of your cardstock and it's hard to get some of that powder off of there. Hello, Ella. Glad you're here. All right, then I'm going to use Versamark ink, and I've got that Peace on Earth. And I don't know how I got green in there, but somehow I got green in there. All right, I'm going to make sure that's straight. Looking over a camera is never fun. Okay, it's a little bit low, but then I'm going to bring in this is our metallic gold, and this is our new wow. I did replace my old ones with our new embossing powders. I did notice the gold, I think, is a little bit nicer than the gold that we had before. I just keep these in a little container. I found these at Meijer, And they have like a little suction cup, so it like, you know that it's really closed. And then in our embossing kit where the little embossing buddy is from, you also have this tweezers that you can hold on to while you're heat embossing. And through the magic of TV, I have that done already. I'm gonna set this over here so I can heat emboss that one afterwards so I do not waste it. All right, we are done with all of our stamping. So let me get all of that out of the way, and we're ready to put our card together. So the inside is simply going to be this white piece. Now I wouldn't on the inside. Good morning, Sandy and Shanna. On the inside, I wouldn't cut a layer of gold, but if you wanted to, you could do like a little strip of it and put it at the bottom and at the top, just so that it added just a little bit of gold on the inside if you wanted to. I opted just to use the card the way it is. I'm going to grab one of my bone folders here. Give that a good burnish. Now I got to make sure that I have it the right way. I do. All right, then I'm going to attach my designer paper. So funny because like if you look at this, this is the right way, correct? The right orientation. Here, these ribbon things are supposed to go this way. When I used them on the card that I did, I used them this way. Everybody has a different way of doing things, right? All right. So here I'm kind of lining up the three sides, the top, the bottom, and the left side, and trying to get an equal border there. And if the three of them have an equal border, then the right side should also be an equal border. And we will go ahead and add this. Just want to make sure I have it the right way. Now, in that image that they had in the catalog, it looks like it has a bigger border on the top and the bottom. I decided to just make mine even, but if you wanted to, you could make this 3 and you could make that 4 so that you could get more out of your designer series paper rather than what I did. I thought I wanted to have a little bit more of the trees because by the time my greeting got on there, I wanted to still be able to see the trees. So I still wanted some longer, and you wouldn't have to layer it. You could just put that on. I am the layer queen, so I always have to layer it. So I just stepped it up a little bit from here than what was on there. So now what's left is the ribbon, and then we've got our label that's going to go there, and we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. So the ribbon that I decided to use for behind there, I did have it here somewhere. Where did I set it when I took my stamps out? Well, I have another spool. Oh, here it is. This comes in gold and silver trim. It's a dual pack. I know Pretty Peacock is really stunning. You could do the shaded spruce, but I really liked how the Pretty Peacock pulled out that color right there, Debbie. Okay, so I'm going to just cut some of this. And I've said this before, but I saw somebody on here say that they were new to me. So I will say this again. When I'm putting bows underneath, now this is really, really thin, so a knot isn't going to be real big, but I like to go without a knot when I'm making my ribbon because the knot just adds a little bit more bulk underneath your label. So I like to just make what I call a faux bow, where I make the 2 little loops and I kind of hold it together in the center like this. I kind of look at it to see if that's about how big I want it. And if that's about how much ribbon I want coming out, then I just kind of set it where I want it on my card. Just going to get this here. Okay, so there's my bow, my 2 loops, my ends, and I just take a little piece of Scotch tape and I have that become, instead of a knot, I just have that hold my faux bow in place so I don't have to have that big knot. And then I can just go ahead and add my dimensionals. And I want this just to lay a little bit flatter here. Struggling with that just a little. There we go. We'll just kind of force it down a little bit. There we go. All right, and so now I'm going to throw some dimensionals on here. I tried to remember to put my dimensionals over here so I didn't have to have my hand go like this over the camera, which I just did again. Let me take this off. Oh my goodness. See, Kathy Miller said that she's going to start being my person who does that kind of stuff, like takes those things off for me when I forget. I forgot that I used mini dimensionals on this. So we're using big dimensionals. I'm going to just put one. I might just put a mini one here in the center and then even here on this side. I don't want the dimensional to necessarily go on the ribbon because then you get a couple of different levels. So I kind of want it to be off to the side. Make sure I have it straight. This just does not want to lay flat for me today. I don't know what I did wrong when I was making my bow. There we go. All right, then let's gem it up a little bit. So I have a couple of different options that we can pick from. Put them over here somewhere. Right here. So the whatchamacallit, gems that come with this series, this paper with the trees are these, and they're like this gold. They're almost like a champagne. Now, I don't know if I'd really call them a gold, like the gold that's on here. And then these clear silvery color. These are called our druzy adhesive backed gems. I had to look up the word druzy because I'm like, druzy? Did somebody just make that up? And it's supposed to be like a bunch of crystals all together is what druzy is. I don't know. I never knew that before. I learned something new because of Stampin' Up. These are the gems that go with our, I don't remember which bundle these go with. These are the gold textured adhesive back dots. So they are a little bit big. There's 3 different sizes though. There's like a small, a medium, and a large. They're not as sparkly as the ribbon. And then our other option that I looked at was, this is in our annual catalog. These are our sparkle gems. And so we have, I have this page, this sheet is new. So there's like a crystal. Again, there's kind of like a little bit of a goldy champagne. These are a little bit smaller and not as high up as the druzy ones. There's a black, a silver, and a champagne. So I'm going to let you vote. This is going to be our number 1. If you like these for our number 1. Our number 2 would be these gold ones. And our number 3 would be our sparkle gems. So 1, 2, or 3. What would you put on here for just adding a little bit of bling? And while you are voting, I'm going to go ahead and just add a piece of this designer paper to the flap of the envelope. And I think I mentioned it, I don't know if it was last week, I think it might have been the week before when I made a Christmas card. And it was another Christmas card that was a quick and easy Christmas card. You know, you have some people who, you know, when they get your card, it's just going to go in the garbage. You know what I mean? Like, you know that you're not going to go to their house and it's going to be hanging out or anything like that. And so if you're like making some cards that are really, really detailed and take you a long time to make, this would be for one of those people that maybe you don't want to spend as much time, or you have so many cards to make that you do need to make something that's a little bit simpler. This is beautiful, but it's really simple, right? And if you cut out some of the stuff in the inside so that you weren't using as much of that gold paper, or you could just cut like a little square and have it just hanging out at the top and the bottom if you did want to get some of the gold on there. These would go together really fast. Okay, so I've got 2, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2 ones, a 2, a 3, and a 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4 2s, and 2 3s. So 4 and 4. I'm going to go with number 1. How about, uh, 1, 2, 3. Okay, how about if I put one of each on, and then when you see them on, you can decide. So here's one of those. It's between 1 and 2. And it's funny because I used 3 on mine. Okay. So you can kind of see which one do you like. So one's got a little sparkle. The other one's just kind of like a glass dot. So I've got another 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. I think we're going to go with the ones because I think I have 5 now. All right, let's go ahead with the ones. So I'm going to do a little one. I'll do a little bit bigger one there, and we'll do another little one up here. So there we've got a little bling that we added. The bling kind of goes along with the bling of our ribbon. And Michelle added another one. So that's what we ended up using. So there is the first card using that layout that we found. I've got, this is here. I'm going to put these in here. Otherwise I'm going to lose, and then I can't remember what the name of them are. These are our sparkle gems. I didn't make a little bag for them yet with a little tag because they're all new. All right, so there is our first card. Now, when I made it last night, I used the number 3, which they're just a tad bit smaller than, so they look pretty similar. They're a little bit flatter. They're not as high up, and they are just a little bit smaller round. So that is our first card with just a super easy layout. All right, I'm going to set that aside so that I can get out card number 2. And I'm going to show you the DSP that we're using here. Since I pulled this out, so I might as well show you. It was requested for 2 weeks now that I use the Reindeer Days bundle or suite of products. So we are going to be using paper from the Reindeer Days. We are going to be using a couple of stamps from the Reindeer Fun stamp set. We're going to be using quite a few of the dies from the Reindeer Fun dies. These dies are amazing. I have to get them on a pack yet. So you have these 3, and I'll show you. I'm using these die cuts to be able to put our deer together. This is a frame. This will cut out a frame that has like some evergreens around it that you could put a scene in the background. We have some dies that cut out some of the images that you can stamp or that are in our paper. These make some little gift packages, and here's the bow with the ribbon that you can put on them. Here's a little holly and some lights, some bells. These are the berries for your holly. So there's a lot of really cool dies that come in this set. It also has, we're going to be using the real red and white baker's twine. Okay, so that's that. And we are also going to be using, these are on back order, but they're coming back in, I think this upcoming week. They're supposed to be back in. These are the real red and white adhesive back peppermints. Aren't they cute? Oh, love them. They're so cute. Thanks for sharing, Shanna. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to set this back over here. I don't know what stamp set fell. I think it was a stamp set that I was showing you from the last set. All right, let me grab all the stuff out of this envelope to show you what we're going to do. So this is going to be a fun fold. It's a new fold for me. I've used a fold similar to this, but not in the dimensions that we're using. And that'll make sense, I think, when I show you. So we are going to start with real red. And this is wrong dimensions. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it doesn't fold. Our base is not going to fold. We're going to put something that folds on top of here. All right. And what we're going to put on top of here that folds is garden green. And this garden green piece is 4 inches by 8 1/2. And I scored it at 5 1/4. Okay, so 5 1/4 is the score line. So that will end up being 4 inches by 5 1/4. That's going to layer on top of there. All right. Then we have, get my next one here. For the inside, this is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So that goes on the inside of our card. We have some of our designer paper, and I decided to use this fun plaid, which is 2 inches wide by 3 3/4 inches. And then you need something for the front, and that can vary from design to design. I'm going to show you the one I'm going to do for you today is going to be just another color that's in my designer series paper that I ran through this fun plaid embossing folder. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so this measures 3 inches by 3 3/4, and I ran it through an embossing folder. I'm going to show you where I use designer series paper there as well, so you can do a mix of things for that layer. All right. Now, what I also have is, this is from our Stylish Shapes. This is I think it's the third to the largest, third to the fourth. I think there are 5 of them. It's either the third or the fourth. So this is just a little circle that I'm going to put on here that I thought I loved how sparkly this is. This is, and I forgot what it's called in the catalog. Let's see here. I will find it for you because I can open the catalog now. Hopefully I don't lose any of the die cut pieces that I just had there. Festive something or other. It's right here. Festive Glimmer Paper. And it comes with Garden Green. This is actually Cherry Cobbler, but I thought I could get away with it with the real red. And then it also comes with Granny Apple Green. So it doesn't come with any Suita products. It goes really nicely with a lot of different ones. So I thought the sparkle there was kind of fun. I cut out this wreath, or die cut out this wreath in Garden Green. Okay, and then our little deer head. It's actually 3 different dies that you cut out, and I did it in 3 different colors. You do have to do it in 3 different colors. I did the base that has the what do you call them? The horns of the deer. I did that in early espresso. And then the part that has the filled in and the detail of the ears, I did that in crumb cake. And then the overlay I did in pecan pie. So when you layer all of those on top of each other, you get this cute little deer. Okay, so that's how you use that set. Now I also die cut, here it is, a little bell that I thought we could put on him. So we're going to add that to kind of like our wreath area, right? That's where I'm going with this. I have a little bit of stamping to do, and it doesn't look like I cut my little strip of paper that I need for the greeting. So let me just measure this real quick. I think it's a 1/2 inch. It is. Let me get some white. Hang tight. Oh, and I even did this one the other night after my mom came and helped me this week. We did. I have, just cut this. I have 19 people coming to my card buffet next weekend. And so everybody makes 8 cards. So I had a lot of cutting to do and but I have everything in packs already because of my wonderful mother. Not only does she have Lila today, she helped me pack everything. She cut all those little squares for all of that paper. She did that last week when I was at a volleyball game. She's amazing. I got the best, that's for sure. I'm sure everybody says that about their mom, but my mom's pretty awesome. All right. I am going to stamp the Merry Christmas on this. This is a 1/2 inch wide. And I didn't measure how long because you can just cut it once you have it stamped. Okay, so we're going to need that. And then I'm going to line this up so I can see where it is. so that I can center the greeting on the inside. Hi, Nancy. So Christmas is better together. All right, so that's what we're doing for our stamping. A lot of stuff with dies today. Between our label, although we did do heat embossing and some other fun stuff. All right, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to trim this just a little bit. And then I'm also going to make it into a little banner. So I always cut up the center, try to get it as close to the center as possible. And then I go from either end to that center to make a banner. And then depending on how far up you go with your first snip, that determines like how long those little ribbon pieces are. So I like to go up just a real little bit. And then I had my team meeting today and I didn't realize when I scheduled it that the Badgers were going to be playing Alabama today, which anyone who's a big college and big Wisconsin, even though I hope that I can't imagine that the Badgers are going to win. I just hope that it's a close and a fun game and that it's not a blowout. All right. So that's what we have for our stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start to put this together. So let's see, here it is. Look at how cute this paper is, you guys. Look at that. And you have a die that cuts that out. Not this one. You would have to fussy cut that one out. But they're just it's so cute. Or you could cut that in like a circle and put that in the background of that little die cut that I showed you that had the evergreen around it. Okay, so that's going to go like that. And then it looks like I need to trim just a little bit off the bottom here. You probably couldn't see that, but there's just a little bit hanging on the end. That is going to go on the inside of our card. Now you might be thinking, where in the heck did she come up with that granny apple green? Like, why did she die cut that color? If you look really closely, this is real red. That's garden green. And then that tiny little line in the center there, that's garden green. I know that because I went and looked on the back. Oh, antlers. Thank you. Thanks, Mary. Yeah, they're not. What did I call them? Can't even remember what I called them. But anyway, yeah, they're antlers of this year. Just a 30-pointer, right? All right, so that goes there. And then I am going to use my when you get on live camera like this, you like lose your mind. All of a sudden, I can't think of words that I want to say. I hope no one's recording my grammar because all falls apart when you get on camera. All right, so this is going to go on here like that. And so then this opens up like that. So we've got our little paper there. And then this I'm going to put on here to bring in that granny apple green. Where am I from? Ella, I am from Appleton, Wisconsin, where we have deer hunting season coming up here in, I think they can start with the bow hunting in October sometime. Oh, I put new glue in. I was out of glue. Can you believe it? I was out of glue. And I had to reload. And I think it's got to get from there to here. Come on. This usually doesn't happen. I don't know if I didn't put it back in here correctly. All right, let me grab, I have a glue here too. I just reloaded this morning because last night I could tell I was getting really low, and it got to be a little bit later last night than I had planned, and I promised my mom I would go to bed. Bo starts next weekend, Shanna. Oh my goodness. I thought it was October, but I guess it starts next weekend here in Wisconsin. Bow hunting starts today in Wisconsin. Oh my goodness. Today, next week, whenever. It starts earlier than I thought. Betty's saying it starts today too. Okay. People who have bow hunters probably, or are bow hunters probably know that. I do not come from a family that hunts. We had a cheese factory, and when you have a family business and it's relies on picking up milk from cows, you cannot tell the cows it's bow hunting season or it's deer hunting season and that they have to stop producing. Um, they just keep producing, and we have to keep picking it up and keep making the cheese. So my brothers and my dad never really got into deer hunting. My brother has a cottage up in kind of like the Northwoods area, and the guys would, his kids would go up for a weekend with him, and they'd call it deer camp, but not one of them went out hunting. They played football. They watched football, college football games. I'm just layering these right over the top of each other to make my little deer. They all line up. Yeah, so I do not come from a hunting family. Ella's from Onalaska. They were married in Appleton. I do retreats? Stamping retreats? I do not. I do, well, I haven't, I should say. I do card buffets once a month where I have 16 cards that people can choose from, and they make 8 of the cards. And I offer it on, well, this month there were 4 different dates for them to pick from: a Wednesday night, a Friday night, a Saturday morning, and a Sunday afternoon. And so that's what I end up offering. I do have some to-go things that will be coming out. We just had a card making day that people could order. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll keep talking after I explain this. So I put my little circle down. I'm putting him in here into the wreath, and then I'm going to flip it over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some dimensionals, and I'm going to put my dimensionals so that they go right, so that it overlaps both of them. And I think I'm going to grab a bigger dimensional here at the top. Okay, so see how half of it is on the wreath and half of it is on the deer. And then we'll put another one here. I just want to make sure I can't see it on the other side. And we'll put this here. And we'll put a couple up here. Now you do have to be a little careful, because with glimmer paper, a lot of things don't stick very well. I know that glue dots stick really well. I know that tear and tape sticks really well, but I really wanted this to be raised up with dimensionals. So I put it on dimensionals, and I'm just going to make sure that I give this a really good press, that it stays down there. Aren't those deer? Isn't that deer head just the cutest? Oh, I think he's so cute. All right, then what we're going to do is I'm going to take a glue dot, and we're going to add, I almost forgotten about my little bell. We're going to add our little bell. I'm going to add it about right here. And I'm going to put a little ribbon in there so that I'm going to put this little twine in there. And then our Merry Christmas, I'm going to put that up on dimensionals as well. 1, 2, 3. That right underneath there. Whoops, got to go over a little bit. There we go. All right, we'll bring out this baker's twine. And you could do it with a bow maker or with baker's twine. I'm usually okay with making a tiny bow myself. And again, I'm going to take a glue dot. Just going to kind of roll it up in my finger to make it real tiny. Roll it in a little smaller dot. Set it in the center of that bell and then push my knot right inside of there. Isn't he cute? Okay, so that's that. And then let's take some of these red and white peppermint rounds. And let's see, I think there's 3 different sizes. So I think I'm gonna take the biggest one and put it there. And then I'm gonna do the littlest one right next to it. And then I'm gonna do the medium-sized one up there. So we've got a little fun going on with our little deer, reindeer. All right, so that is our fun fold. Let me get a, I have a little, I didn't cut the side of these off, so I gotta quickly slide these in here. Let's add a little bit of the paper to our envelope flap. That plaid paper is just so cute, right? The paper in this suite of products is really cute. Oh, thanks, Ella. You know what's weird is that, so I do all my classes out of my house, or if it gets way too big, then I end up doing it at the school that I teach at, either in the cafeteria or the library, if I can rent it out, if it's available when I'm doing it. I just found this summer where my parents have our lake house is in Wapaka, Wisconsin. And there is a crafting retreat house there that you can rent. And there's also one near here because I know Denise and a whole bunch of her ladies that she stamps with, they all go to a place around here. So I would love to do a retreat sometime. There's just so much work. And I do work a full-time job. I just do this. Well, it's supposed to be part-time, but my mom keeps telling me, you have 2 full-time jobs right now. All right, so here is our fun little fold that opens up like this and uses our reindeer set. Now, I did make a couple of other cards using this fold. So I had to be in a swap and we had to do something fall related. And I ended up doing this because I wanted to use some of the new paper from the online exclusives from that scrapbooking stuff that they just released. And so this is those ghosts, those festive ghosts or whatever they're called. And then on the inside, it just says trick or treat. So that's using that fold. So instead of using embossed paper, I used designer paper. Okay, if you are on my team and you do not want to see one of the 2 of our cards for today, close your eyes or walk away from the screen. This is one of the cards that my team members are making today. This is that Winter Regal Winter, whatever it is. This is that paper. And then this is from the online exclusive greetings. And then the dies that are online exclusives, and then the ribbon that goes with this paper. So this is Night of Navy along with some Blackberry Bliss. And then it says thinking of you on the inside. And then I did not come up with this idea. I came up with the fold, but I was watching Heidi Collins this last week. I don't know if it was this last week. I watched it this last week. I don't know when she taped it, but she was talking about how sometimes it's really hard when you buy, you keep buying different sets that are Christmas sets, and it's like you can't use them more than 1 year, some people think. Well, she came up with a way that you could use the reindeer set so that you could make a masculine card. So I took her idea and I went with it, and I made a fun fold card. So my team is also making this one. So it's more like a taxidermy deer that is like mounted on a wall with the happy birthday and then all the wood grains and stuff like that, make it very masculine, and then just have the time to celebrate afterwards or inside. So this is just kind of like a little Z fold. I used the birch embossing folder that is new. And then this is some of the wood paper, and this is some of that wood paper from the country woods. And then here, instead of, I used crumb cake on the last one. Here I used very vanilla. So it's a way to not have to just use it for Christmas, but to be able to use it for a masculine card. Yeah, it's a good card for the hunters. So if you pack a few like snacks in their deer camp bag and you want to include a cute little card, or if you wanted to make some sort of like a little snack bag and have like a little tag attached to it, you could make these little deer and attach like, you know, good luck or anything like that. Be safe, whatever you wanted to stamp on it or write on it. But I thought that that was really a clever idea that she had, to not just use it for Christmas like we did here, but to be able to use it for something other than Christmas. All right, let me see here. Are there any comments that I'm missing? I don't think so. Any questions? Let's go here. I don't have my light back on, so I'm going to look really, all these lights from my camera are on. So I will be, let me think. Next week, I will not be live at 8:30. I will be going live at about 12:30. I have my card buffet in the morning, and that ends at about noon. So I will hop on about 12:30 to do my cards. If you can't make it at that time, you could always watch the replay afterwards. So thanks, Nancy. And Ella, I think I was still kind of talking to you. My friend and I go to Ohio every year. Yeah, so I haven't done any retreats yet. I've done some stuff online that people could purchase, and I do the class at my house once a month. I do have a Christmas one coming up. I'm going to try to do that in November this year instead of December, because everybody is so busy in December. So I'm hoping to have everything done by November, so that I'll be able to offer that in November. Last year I had my nephew's wedding, which took a weekend, and then you had Thanksgiving on a weekend. And so my friend Kathy and I do that together. So yes, Michelle, I know you can't make the team meeting today, but anything, all of this stuff will be sent to you. So this week sometime, once maybe even after the meeting, if I can get it boxed up and get the labels all printed and stuff like that, you will still get the stuff in the mail. So I have made your cards. So these cards are already made for you. I will get that in the mail to you. If any of you are interested in joining my team, we are small. There's only 10 of us. I do try to get together quarterly with them. That's new since I grew my team. But it's kind of a great way to get a discount. That's how I started out. You get for sure a 20% discount on all of the products that you purchase. And then as you move up and you you can use, the minimum is 20%. You can actually earn more than that as you progress in the company as well. So if that's something you'd like to do, did I get my trip goal? I'm close. I think I looked at it the other day. Kathy asked me, how close are you? And I think I was at like $485 away. And I know that I had a couple of purchases that were around 50, and one was 50 and one was 80. So I'm getting there. I'm pretty confident that I'll get it. But thank you all for helping me with that. It's nothing I ever dreamed of. When I started doing this, I wanted the discount. I didn't want to do any of this stuff. So, but I do enjoy my Saturday mornings with you. And I do enjoy all of the ladies that are on my team and the ones that come to my classes. We have a blast. So anyhow, thank you so much. I'm going to go get ready for everybody coming over to my house. I hope that you can find some time to be creative, and I will see you again. Oh, you know what? I forgot to share with you. Stampin' Up! I'm offering something on World Card Making Day, but Stampin' Up! Is also offering something. It's October 5th. It's after when my stuff is. So it would start 3 o'clock our time. It's a free virtual crafting event. They will share with you some ideas, and all of the cards, it looks like, will be using all of the stuff that's at the front of our annual catalog, all of the Memories and More kits and things like that, the ephemera packs and stuff like that for making like really quick cards. So that is something that if you go to the Stampin' Up! Website, you will be able to see that as well. So now go ahead and have a great weekend. I hope you can find some time to be crafting, and I will see you next week on this channel at a different time. Have a great week, everyone, and thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.